Hey everyone, this is DW's Darius, and welcome back to the Fish Room. I want to start by wishing everyone a Happy New Year. Thank you for the support, encouragement, and motivation that you've shown me throughout the years. I'd say 50% of my collection exists because I really enjoy nature, animals, and creativity, but there's no denying that at least half of these tanks are here because of this YouTube channel, from everyone giving me suggestions and ideas, to people asking me questions and also answering my questions. You guys pushed me into this extreme level of fish keeping, and it's been an amazing experience. Throughout the previous year, I did a good job at avoiding impulse purchases. It's easy to buy fish on the fly because of how cool they look, but last year was the first year where I only bought fish that I planned on buying after doing research and making sure that they would coexist well with my other fish. My African tiger scat is one of the fish that I purchased early in the year, with hopes of it eventually being a cool eyeball fish for one of my tanks. Its body shape and color pattern looks very similar to that of marine fish, and I find that this fish is incredibly smart. Unfortunately, like most smart fish, he's become very aggressive trying to discourage competitive fish, too aggressive for his intended tank, so I'll be moving him later this year into one of my more aggressive communities. I also bought a carpenter cichlid last year. This fish was on my wish list because of that magnificent blue that they display. Mine ended up being a female. She's super aggressive, but being a female she won't get too big, so she should match the aggression level of most of my other cichlids. I bought a red jewel cichlid for that brilliant red color. I also bought some silver dollars to serve as dither fish in my bigger tanks. They don't look like much now, but I believe that this is the year that they're going to evolve and become some impressive specimen. One of the most unique purchases of the year was my panther crab. I avoided crabs because most crabs need dedicated land sections, but the panther crab is an exception that can live fully underwater. The most famous crab in the world has to be Mr. Krabs, and that character is such a perfect representation for crabs. They are very selfish and greedy creatures, but also funny at times. I definitely enjoyed this creature, and it's a nice eye catcher in the tank. I'll be looking for another one to join him. I didn't buy a lot of fish last year because my goal was to focus on the fish I already had and to ensure that they had what they needed to look and behave their best. I've seen a lot of improvements throughout the year, but the best developments have been with my female feste cichlids, which was a fish I've searched for years. With these fish, many people will agree that the females have a more appealing color pattern than the males. I bought 5 individuals over the course of 8 years in search of a female, and because I purchased them as babies, I had to wait months before they were big enough to sex. The first 3 ended up being males, and my experience with them convinced me that this species is one of the most aggressive cichlids in the hobby. Males are usually far more aggressive than females, so I kept searching for females, and eventually I ended up with the 2 that I have now. My females are very aggressive, but a fraction of what I've seen from males. This year is going to be a very big year for them because they've reached significant ranks in the hierarchy. I'm predicting jaw-dropping colors for 2025. And my Vieja bifasciatus, I know lately I've been glazing this fish, but this is another fish that was on my wish list for years, so I'm very proud to have this fish. Now, of course, I had my highs and lows throughout the year, and 2024 was not a year without loss. Early in the year, I lost my black ghost knifefish, one of the most unique fish in my collection. On December 29th, I came home and found my Messer's Geoffrey cichlid dead. This was probably the rarest fish in my collection. I raised him from 1 inch, and over the course of 9 years, he grew to an impressive 18 inches long. He was one of the most difficult fish I've raised, being prone to disease and parasites, and easily stressed. One time he tried to eat a bumblebee catfish and it got stuck in his mouth, and I had to surgically remove it so he wouldn't choke to death. On December 26th, I noticed that he had what looked like a bacterial infection in his mouth, but I had to leave for work for 2 days, and I planned to treat him when I came back because I know sometimes when you use medication, some fish can be stressed by it, so I wanted to make sure I was home to treat him. Unfortunately, it was a fast-moving infection, and by the time I came back, he was dead. I don't really believe in New Year resolutions, but I do believe it's very important to set goals. My main aquarium-related goal is to create the most balanced ecosystem possible. Balance with fish coexistence, balance with feeding and nutrition, balance with water quality and maintenance, and balance with enjoyment and education. I do have a few fish I want to buy this year, and a few fish that I want to rehome. Overall, the goal is to improve. Once again, thank you all for the support, and I look forward to engaging with you guys in the coming year.